Why should we let any? Okay, Shakur Stevens, a hell of a fighter. Devin Haney, a hell of a fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? If Top Rank has Devin Haney and they got Shakur Stevens, then they need to fight each other. Don't worry about Tank. Remember, everybody's saying Tank ain't doing. He's not this. He's not that. And Tank don't have this belt. He don't have that belt. And different things. Well, guess what? If that's true, then guess what? Don't worry about Tank. Let Tank continue to do what Tank doing. Because Tank don't got to worry about nothing. As long as Tank with Floyd and Al, Tank gonna always live good. He's gonna be okay. My thing is this: Tank don't need to go out and pay. Tank don't need to go out. Hypothetically, say Tank was the undisputed champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
The night that he won all the belts, guess what I'm gonna tell him? You get 3 of them back.
Get rid of them
get 3 of them
fees.
back.
Get rid of them fees.
So why should you be paying a sanctioning fee on four belts?
Mm-hmm.
They say Floyd, and if somebody ever come and say, Floyd, you was never an undisputed champion, I say, I know I wasn't undisputed champion. I was something that was better than undisputed champion. I had 3 belts at one weight class and 2 at another. I had 5 belts at one time. So a lot of times when the writers write, oh, Floyd was never undisputed champion, I tell them, guess what? Remember this. I had the WBC and the WBA at welterweight, and then I beat Pacquiao for the WBO. And don't forget, I had just before that, I had whooped Canelo for the WBC and the WBA junior middleweight. So remember, I had 5 belts at once. So I still do record breaking shit.
When this shit was being said, where was I? When this shit was being said, where was I? I was probably asleep in my bed. Mayweather must have hit his head. And I thought to myself, what the fuck he said? What he meant? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm just a cleanup gang and I don't miss nothing at all. That was Floyd Money Mayweather talking as a businessman. Floyd Money Mayweather talking as a businessman. In the midst of him talking as a businessman, he tried to downgrade being undisputed, right? And contradicted himself. Because he said that he had 4 belts and he had to pay 4 sanctioning fees. And he was like, what does it make sense to pay for a sanctioning fee? So he gave away his belt. But later on, he said, I do great groundbreaking stuff. I had 5 belt. I had 3 belt in one weight division and 2 belt in the other. So he contradicted himself by trying to downplay being undisputed because he knew that he ducked a lot of fighters. That's the reason why he didn't become undisputed. When Floyd Money Mayweather beat Oscar De La Hoya, everything changed. He realized that he's the money man. He dictated everything. He pick and choose who he wanted to fight. And he fought until he was 50-0, even fighting MMA fighters to become 50-0. So Mayweather knew what he was doing, right? So me and my brother was having a conversation. He was like, be careful the way you talk about Mayweather because a lot of Terrence Bud Crawford fans are probably Mayweather fans. And I was the biggest Mayweather fan when he was out here beating guys like Diego Corrales, when he was out here beating guys. May Diego Corrales so rest in peace. When he was beating Marquez, when he was beating Ricky Hatton, Arturo Gatti, when he was beating Oscar De La Hoya, when he was beating Ricky Hatton, when he was beating Zab Judah. I was the biggest Mayweather fan. But you just got to be honest when it comes to it. And the same way how Mayweather conducted his career when he became successful, that's the way how he's conducting Tank's career. Like, Tank is successful. Tank is not successful yet. Tank hasn't done anything yet. But Mayweather is going to treat Tank's career like money made. Like when Mayweather became successful, Tank is going to pick and choose who he wants to fight. So you heard Mayweather just said that Tank being undisputed, it doesn't make any sense because you got to pay sanctioning fee. But he stated that he had 5 belts at one time, so he was still paying more sanctioning fee than an undisputed champion will. So If you look at Tank, right? Tank came out and he said he wanted to fight Devin Haney, right? If you guys think I'm lying, roll the motherfucking tape.
Like, come on. So if you win, you said all that. If you win, I'm not out my contract. Let's make the fight happen. Since you was wanting to talk crazy, let's do that. I want to fight you if you win, Devin Haney.
But you guys heard what Mayweather had to say about that, right? Tank is not getting a fight with Devin Haney, right? Undisputed is not important. Devin Haney should fight Shakur Stevenson. Now that remind me of a familiar situation, right? And for those who don't know, Mayweather runs over there on the PBC, him and Al Haymon. When Mayweather came out and Mayweather said, Adrian Broner is going to get in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, that's exactly what happened. When Mayweather said, we going to make the Terrence Crawford and the Errol Spence Jr. fight, build up, and then we're going to make that fight. That was like 6 years ago, guys. So Mayweather controls everything that goes on in the PBC. Him and Al Haymon. So with that being said, do you guys remember when Mr. Errol Spence Jr. called out Terrence Bud Crawford after he defeated Yordenis Ugas? If you guys don't remember, roll the motherfucking tape.
Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps and I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you. Man down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
And you see what Al Haymon had to say about that. You guys see it right there on the screen. Tom Brown, we offered Canelo Alvarez $55 million for Spence at 164. Guys. So, it's evident that these PBC fighters, they're well aware that everything is a facade, right? Gervonta Tank Davis said that he want to fight Devin Haney, knowing damn well that he does not want to fight Devin Haney. Because if you remember, Gervonta Tank Davis had an opportunity to fight the Lomachenko when Lomachenko was in his prime, and Gervonta Tank Davis got mad because Mayweather tried to set it up and said that Mayweather tried to set him up, right? Because Mayweather was a hater. I know you guys remember that, right? That shit was true. It was actually true. He did say that Mayweather tried to set him up and Mayweather was a hater. Now, if you look at Errol Spence Jr., Errol Spence Jr. called out Terrence Bud Crawford, but behind the scenes, they're trying to make a fight with Canelo Alvarez. So just to show you that Mayweather's blueprint of Undisputed not being important, it runs very deep in the bloodline of the PBC, because all these guys believe that Undisputed is not that important, because Errol Spence Jr. was set to fight Canelo Alvarez. If Canelo Alvarez would have accepted that offer, he would have been fighting Canelo Alvarez instead of Terrence Bud Crawford. So Mayweather just exposed the PBC blueprint of ducking the most important fight of these guys' career. And that shit right there is just sad, but it's the truth. And I'm here to expose the truth, so to speak. So when you guys hear Mayweather can say that we're going to make this fight build up for 6 years now, and the fight hasn't happened, the fight is not intended to happen, right? They want prize fighting. They want Errol Spence Jr. to fight Canelo Alvarez. Prize fighting. That's all Mayweather lived by. Prize fighting. That's how he's treating Gervonta Davis' career, by prize fighting. He knows damn. That's why he came out the other day when it was when Spence said, "Oh, he sent a contract and the fight is gonna happen." He could have came out and said it's bullshit. That's because he have his hands all over this fight. Also, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what Al Haymon is doing, and he knows that these guys rather fight for money than legacy. And I'm gonna keep exposing the truth. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Now, I don't know how I missed this, but if I would have seen this, I would have been on this a long time ago, right? But I missed it, so I'm here to let y'all know that this is just bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit, but it's the truth. It's bullshit, but it's the truth. Mayweather is telling you the blueprint of him ducking the biggest fights of his career, or him ducking undisputed. I'm not gonna say the biggest fight of his career, because I feel like the biggest fight of his career, he actually did that with Manny Pacquiao. But he's showing you the blueprint on how to duck undisputed, how to duck dangerous fighters, right? And this is the how to duck dangerous fighters by prize fighting. And that shit is sad, because boxers should be fighting for their legacy, because money could run out, but your legacy can't run out. Your legacy is always gonna be there. Your legacy cannot run out. Your legacy is always going to be there. But he treats Gervonta Tank Davis' career as if Gervonta Tank Davis already has a legacy. They treat Errol Spence Jr.'s career like Errol Spence Jr. already have a legacy. No, he does not. A lot of fighters held 3 belts. There's nothing special about holding 3 belts, staying in one division for your whole career, right? His whole career staying in one division, his whole career, and not becoming undisputed. And I'm telling you, Errol Spence Jr. next move is vacating them 3 belts, just like what Mayweather said, vacating them 3 belts and try to move up. And that shit is sad, because he's not handling the task ahead of him, which is the boogeyman, Terrence Bud Crawford, the real boogeyman. You feel me? So this is the blueprint of the PBC, and it runs very deep. It runs very deep, and I don't make this channel just for Terrence Bud Crawford, right? This channel is just to show you exactly what is going on in the sport of boxing. And all the upcoming fighters, all the great upcoming fighters, they're going to have to deal with stuff like this, because you see Shakur Stevenson and you see Devin Haney, they can't get a fight with Tank because Mayweather believes that he don't need them, right? He shouldn't risk losing, right? He shouldn't try to solidify his legacy by going in there and taking a risk to 2 of the best fighters in and around his weight division. So this is the PBC blueprint, and this is exactly what Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. only get in the ring with people that he believes he can beat. He thought he could have beat Sean Porter, and you seen what happened. He fought tooth and nails with Sean Porter, arguably lost. Tank Davis thought he could have beat Pitbull Cruz, and you seen what happened. Fought tooth and nails with Pitbull Cruz and lost. I'm not gonna say arguably, he lost in my opinion. So this is not no hate video coming at the PBC. This is just to give y'all confirmation how the guys that runs PBC, their mentality. And Mayweather mentality right now is money, money, money. Money, money, money. That's why you see they trying to lowball Terrence Bud Crawford and do all types of stipulation so the fight won't happen, so they could go and try to get a different fight, a money fight. They can't go up and fight Charlo, because Charlo, he doesn't bring any revenue to anything, right? So now they stuck in a rock and a hard place to say like, yo, should I pay Terrence Bud Crawford this amount of money? And should I risk having that rehydration clause? That's why the fight is not happening. Because these guys aren't fighting for legacy. If Errol Spence Jr. was fighting for his legacy, he would have been slapped Al Haymon in his head and slapped Mayweather in his head and told him straight to their face, yo, I want this fight. This fight is for my legacy. But it's not about legacy. It's prize fighting. You heard Errol Spence Jr. came out many of times saying, I'm eating good over here. Like, I'm eating good. I'm getting paid well by Al. It's about prize fighting. It's about prize fighting. And these guys still is not making that much money. They have not been making. Errol Spence Jr., and I don't pocket watch, but Errol Spence Jr. has not made more money than Terrence Bud Crawford throughout his career. Y'all can look this shit up, bro. Look at their net worth. He has not. He has not. So I don't understand what these guys is waiting on to make the fight happen. But like I said, I don't think the fight is going to happen. If it don't happen this year, I don't think it's ever going to happen. And y'all know who to point the finger at. It's not Terrence Bud Crawford at all. It's not that man. That man did not make stipulations saying, oh, I got to clear up my side of the street. He did not make that shit up. He didn't say, yo, oh no, you're fighting with Bob and I'm fighting with Al. He didn't say all of that shit. But I guarantee you, if Jeff Horn had the belt, Al Haymon and Mayweather would have threw Errol Spence Jr. in there. If Ryan Garcia had the belt, Mayweather would have threw Tank Davis in there with them. So it's not about prize fighting. It's prize fighting with less risk. That's what this shit is about. So every time these guys come out and say shit, I'm going to expose them because my name is Mr. Cleanup Gang and this is what I do. You don't have to like it, but you better respect it. Now, make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all share this video if y'all enjoy this content. Hit that subscription button. That's all I got for y'all, and I'm out.